the Firefit National Championships, presented by Scott Safety, protecting what matters most. Welcome to Spruce Meadows, Alberta, for the best of the relay action from this year's Scott National Firefit Championships. It has been a phenomenal championships already. Great crowds, great performances. Well over 300 firefighters from across the country have traveled to Alberta for the event, showcasing the best Canadian firefighter athletes. Relays are a key part of the championships, a maximum of 5 on each team, and look out for the flashlight or baton passed from firefighter to firefighter. Ian Van Renen will be part of the Oakville team. Van Renen broke the world record in the individual event at Spruce Meadows and makes his team potential favorites.
We've had some runs in training. We've tweaked our format a little bit and kind of utilized everybody in their best spots. We feel yesterday we ran a 104 yesterday. It was a little bit clumsy. We feel like we may be able to break that 1 minute barrier.
But look out for Fort McMurray in their home province, champions this year in the 2 firefighter X3 category and just coming into form at the right time.
We're running good, yeah. It's, we all run for each other. We all practice together, push each other. So that's how we get better, really. It's just kind of the inner competition. And then when you're racing, it actually drives you. When it gets hard, really, when you get sore, you just kind of tell yourself, do it for your teammates.
Hi everyone, Perry Solkowski along with Dale McRoberts on this great day in Spruce Meadows, Alberta, set for the finals of the women's relay competition. It will be Lambton College who will be in the yellow lane against Fort McMurray in the red.
And as they head up the stairs, the one big difference here is these firefighters are wearing but not breathing from a Scott Air pack, and they've got a firefighter flashlight that they're using as a relay baton. So as they carry that 42-pound high-rise pack up the 60 steps, they've got a flashlight in their hand. They deposit the high-rise pack, then have a grasp-to-grasp exchange of the flashlight. Now, competitor number 2 pulls up the 45-pound donut roll of hose. It's going to go into or on the box, or there'd be a penalty. Then watch the exchange. They have to pick up the flashlight, grasp to grasp, and make the exchange. Down the stairs we go. And it looks like Fort McMurray with an early lead here. See, as we come down the stairs, now you have to plan, where's the flashlight going to be? Are you going to be on the railing, or where do you carry it? So it's a really technical event here, the Firefit Relay.
You don't have to always have that flashlight on you, you just have to carry it, do you not?
You see another example right there on the force machine. You can set it down on the ground or on the tray and then make grasp-to-grasp exchanges, and you have to complete your task before you make the exchange.
These women are really flying. Lambton College, Fort McMurray. Most of these athletes compete individually. Nice to break up the elements, but speed is certainly the factor.
And as we say, 3 to 5 person teams, and we say, look, how fast could we do this if everybody was fresh? And this is what you see in the relay event.
This is the women's final. That's Ashley Kimball trying to bring it home for Fort McMurray, and she will. Look at her team surrounding her. That's the great part of this. Everybody works hard. They know it's not going to be much pressure. It's just a matter of the winning time. And there it is, 1:42.90. Fort McMurray, the winner of the women's relay in 2016. There's one big difference you see, Dale, when you finish with the dummy pole. Usually it's exhaustion. Ashley Kimball there to make sure she can celebrate and congratulate the ladies from Lambton College as well for their efforts.
Showing the handoffs, grasp-to-grasp exchanges, and when you get to the finish line, the team cannot go past the last hydrant. On to the finish.
More relay action from Spruce Meadows is straight ahead on TSN. And welcome back to Spruce Meadows. Competitors getting set as we are preparing for the mixed relay competition. Now this is the first semifinal. It won't be based on times. If you win this, you are in the final. Wellesley will be on the yellow side. Toronto Pearson will be on the red.
The mixed category, we've got one female, at least one female on the team, and members change the elements that they do every time they race. But we're heading up the stairs. We've got that firefighter flashlight, 42-pound high-rise pack. Watch, it's got to go into or on the box. And then the donut roll, 45 pounds at the end of a rope.
Well, Dale, there are 5 elements, both these teams with only 4 participants. So what we're seeing is some of them can do 2 of the elements and they can decide which ones they are. Most of the time it would be consecutive, would it not?
That's right. It's easier if they're consecutive, but sometimes a competitor will do an event at the start, race down to the other end and do another element. So this is it's a really technical event. You have to strategize and decide what's your best lineup and also how to get to the finish.
Toronto Pearson with a comfortable 15-meter lead right now, and when it is a relay, and that means someone is fresh going again, it'll be tough to make that up for Wellesley in the yellow lane.
They're going against our record-holding team from Toronto Pearson. Tim Lasecki, he did 2 events. He's dragging Rescue Randy. They set the record earlier this year, and they are on their way to the final heat.
Well, it normally is always about time, but when it's at a knockout in the semifinals, Tim goes, yeah, I'll cross it easily, I'll have a smile, and we are set. We have made it to the finals. It's just a matter of who Toronto Pearson will be facing, but a smooth, comfortable performance by them at Spruce Meadows, and they've made it to the finals, which was always the team's goal. So much about building camaraderie in this event, and certainly when it comes to relays, that's what it's all about. Heard from Quinte West, they have their team and getting set to go in the next semifinal we're about to watch.
We've worked hard to rebuild the team at Quinte West in the last few years. They went through some tough years where I was racing by myself, so traveling by myself out to these national events, but starting to get some young people, they push you harder, and it's really paying off for me. They want to train more, and the results pay off in nationals.
And there are the rosters of the 2 teams. Strathcona, just outside of Edmonton, will be on the yellow course. Quinte West set to go on the red course. As we've seen before, 5 elements, but 4 firefighters for each of these teams.
So once again, we're looking that they're carrying the flashlight, and the exchanges are critical because there's a penalty if it's a bad exchange, and you have to complete your task before you make the exchange. The high-rise packs have to be into the box. As we pull up this donut roll, once again, we'll be seeing it go into the box and then pass the flashlight, grasp to grasp, to the next competitor.
Well, you can see the blue skies, but you can also see by the Canadian flag that the wind is picked up here at Spruce Meadows. And sure, it's always about, you've got your full gear on, you've got packs on your back. You have to deal with the elements, and they're dealing with some wind here today.
That's right. We forget that these competitors, as fast as they're moving, as you can see Carla running through the hydrants right now, she's wearing 20 pounds worth of firefighting gear and a 20-pound air pack. They make the exchange.
Trouble.
And when you try and go as fast as you can, oh boy, you've got 1 element to do. You want to do it as fast as you can. And if you make a mistake, you just keep on going. He luckily grabbed the hose and finished.
Well, you can see a red flag is up from the official. That's a 2-second penalty, isn't it, Dale?
That's right. And so we let the competitors know that. So just in case you think you have a clear victory, you might want to keep on going strong. So, boy, the Strathcona team, they've run good races so far at this event, and it looks like they are going to move on through.
Strathcona has moved through. They will see Toronto Pearson in the final of the relay event. You know, they had their problems with the hose, but had a comfortable lead, and with no penalties, good enough to get a spot in our finals. We had the industrial relay early on. This was the bronze medal race. Lambton College closer to us. They fall just before the finish. Had a penalty flag anyways. In the far course, though, great run by Bruce Power. They were victorious and pick up the bronze medal in the industrial relay race. Setting us up for the final. Syncrude in the yellow lane. They'll be taking on Fleming College, who will be racing in the red lane.
We're at the start. One of our veteran teams, Syncrude, been racing for years. We do an event in Fort McMurray with them as a host every year for the last 10 years. Let's see if their experience pays off.
Well, one interesting tactic, Syncrude, there are 5 elements. They have 5 participants. Where Fleming College, Dale, they're only going with 4. Someone will do an element twice.
That's right. So they've got to think this thing through. What's their best way to get a good time? And looks like Syncrude's going through. They're coming down the stairs fast. Fleming's going to have to catch up fast here. We're onto the force machine. And remember, that hammer has to go into or on that box, or it'd be a 2-second penalty. So keep your eye on penalties when it comes to the finals.
Well, Syncrude, you mentioned veteran team around the Firefit competitions, and when you get to a final like this, championship at stake in the relay event, and they are flying.
Championship race for sure, but also the Syncrude team, they've had their eye on the record.
Rene Marchand is taking the dummy drag. Will he make the record? He will. It was 1:08.10. It now belongs to this team from Syncrude. A new industrial relay race team record, 1:07.11. Congratulations on a great effort by the Syncrude team.
We have a new record.
Crowd now finding out about it. They simply did not make a mistake on that entire course, and what a way to end the competition for them with a new record in their win. More great racing from these wonderful athletes at the 2016 Scott Firefit Championship. And welcome back to the 2016 Firefit Nationals. Back to our relay race. Show you the results from the bronze medal race. It was Wellesley beating Quinty West. Quinty West actually crosses the finish line first, but that 2-second penalty came back to hurt them. And Wellesley was right behind him, and within 2 seconds, picks up the victory. Setting the stage for this, Strathcona, just outside of Edmonton, will be in the yellow lane, up against Toronto Pearson in the red. The championship in the mixed final is on the line.
And our Toronto Pearson team, they've raced a couple of times this year, each time lowering their mixed relay record. And they're coming out west to Spruce Meadows, who they're going to meet up with, Strathcona County, a veteran team with Darren Anderson on it. And this will be a great race because two of the top teams in this category.
Continue through the round robin to get to this point. This is what they've waited for, a team event, and flying down the stairs. There you see the times very, very close to each other, only a couple of steps apart. It'll all be about the transition and the relay.
And they've had to make a lot of strategy changes here because in the mixed relay, you have to change your elements every time you run. So it's something to think about. The red flag is up on the red course there. I think I saw that hammer which we were talking about. It has to hit the box, it has to stay in the box, or it's a 2-second penalty.
Well, just a little trouble there on the flashlight exchange. And those tenths, those 0.3 of a second, they can make a difference as they come to the final element. The dummy drag, head to head, neck and neck.
And Toronto Pearson's making a push for it. They've got to win by more than 2 seconds. Let's see if they can do it.
Brad Dick staying close across the finish line first is Toronto Pearson, but they were within 2 seconds. And indeed, Strathcona gets the championship in this final race for them. Congratulations, smooth right throughout, penalty-free, and they leave victorious. Oh, and it has to be tough in a relay competition when you make a mistake, and Toronto Pearson, well, Dale, here's exactly where their mistake was.
That's right, the hammer has to go down into the square and remain for safety purposes, and the hammer slid out. It's a 2-second penalty. Vince, our referee, caught it, raised the flag, and that set the stage for the final.
Yeah, and as you come near the end, Strathcona knows they're close, and even another penalty here where the entire team is supposed to stop at that final fire hydrant. They don't. They keep on stumbling, and Strathcona just stayed calm. We're in it and victorious in this final race. Reason for them to celebrate. Getting set now for our men's semifinal. 4 great teams. The first heat, Kamloops in the yellow taking on Fort McMurray in red. And if there is an emotional favorite, it would be the team from Fort McMurray.
Yeah, nothing's really changed with team-wise. It's the same group. We started in April. Obviously, May 3rd, it got a little busy. And yeah, so a couple weeks it was, we were like off, not in our usual routine, but once things kind of settled down, we got things organized and everything like that, we got things back together. So our mission statement is to represent the city, our department, and represent the team as best we can. So, you know, it's about trying to put a positive light in Fort McMurray. You know, the city is a great community to live in. It's really close-knit. Everyone from the town is from somewhere else, and you got to be tight-knit in there, and so it's a pretty nice place to be, and we want to represent it in the best light.
Well, Fraser O'Neill and everyone up in Fort McMurray that works in firefighting certainly had our attention and our hopes and our wishes, and did such a magnificent job in the effort they put forth in Fort McMurray of tough times. You have to hope that they can find some success in this as you're rooting for them, with heroic things that they did in their city and around them.
And we've seen them competing earlier in the year, not too many weeks after they went through that, and they've survived it, they've moved on, and a couple of months later, here they are fighting it out again.
Good race here. All trying to get into the finals. It won't matter about the times, just plain old 2 semifinals. The winner of one gets to the final.
And Fort McMurray is a past national champion. Kamloops is a 3-time national champion. Heading to the finish line, here we go, Dan Nadiak. He is flying down the course with Rescue Randy. Looks like he's got, what an awesome time, 1:02.
Spectacular time. In fact, that's only 0.7 of a second off a world record for Fort McMurray. Yes, this team event, the relay race, they did come together and they will be in the final. Now it's a matter of who will they face. Boy, we got a couple of strong teams in our second semifinal. It'll be Fort McMurray getting set to face either Oakville or Edmonton.
And boy, this Fort McMurray team practices their exchanges all the time so that they get to this final race. Dan Nadiak, he's so fast with a mannequin and smooth because he doesn't want to make a mistake right here. Takes his team to the final.
Impressive race, Edmonton-Oakville, our second semifinal. This should be a battle. Edmonton going with 5, Oakville going with 4.
There's a bit more pressure on us now. We feel it, so we kind of try to keep it relaxing, more of a relaxing environment, so everybody has a good run and push everybody as far as they can go.
Well, can they get under a minute? Possibly. They've got this man. He's like Superman. Set a new world record earlier, Ian Van Rinnen, and he will run twice. He will go up the stairs and he'll carry the dummy.
Fast up the stairs, and these are big guys doing this work here. 60 steps to the top of this tower. Oakville, they're one of the favored teams, have been all day long at this relay knockout tournament. But Edmonton is our previous champion.
Sean Henderson flying down the steps. And Edmonton, as you said, neck and neck with them. They're going to want to be a little tighter. Van Rinnen is the X factor because he's already done the stairs, and he will be the anchor leg in this relay.
Well, as they're running through the cones here now, and I don't see a flag raised, but we're going to have to go back and look at that hammer because it looked like it was out of the square. We'll take a look at that afterwards. Meanwhile, here we are to rescue Randy.
It is a dead heat, but the anchor man has the world record in the individual race. Look at how quickly he has handled that. It will be Oakville crossing the finish line not under a minute 3:43, beating Edmonton. But by less than 2 seconds, Dale, and hang on here, you don't think this will be over. There could be a penalty.
We're going to have to examine where the hammer is. If it's outside of that yellow box, then it would be a 2-second penalty.
Any part of that hammer outside the yellow area, will that be all it takes?
And you can see in the replay it's out. Our referees made the call. It is a 2-second penalty.
Interesting he didn't throw up the flag.
He didn't. I could see he was running after the team. They're so fast here, and we had to go there afterwards. But the hammer stays where it is. There is time to examine it. Unfortunate, but that's racing.
Yes, they announced, there it is. Our Firefit video referee enhanced image tells us it's out of the box. And it says, Edmonton, you are now in the final. get set for that. They have made their way in Oakville. The favorite will race for bronze in the Scott Firefit Championship. Welcome back to the Scott Firefit Nationals in Spruce Meadows in Calgary. Enjoying great competition in the relay race. In the bronze medal race, Oakville stormed past Kamloops and picked up the bronze, and a team that fouled out and lost their chance to get into the final, and the final all set up. And maybe it's apropos, isn't it, with all the struggles and the work in Northern Alberta. It'll be Fort McMurray in the red up against Edmonton. These two departments working so close side by side over the summertime, and now they will race for a chance to win the relay title.
Two past national champions going ahead, and on the red side there, you see Fraser O'Neill missed a couple of steps. Now he's going to be pushing a little bit harder to see if he can catch up.
Oh, when you're dealing with relay, you don't want to make a mistake. It was early on, so maybe that is the good thing for Fort McMurray. They will try and make up for Fraser O'Neill's miscue.
And another one on the rope there, so boy, they're going to really have to be pressing because Edmonton is one of the top teams, have been for years. Coming down the stairs, fast onto that force machine. So Edmonton has a lead. Let's see if Fort Mac can catch them.
We have seen the 2-second penalty cost previous teams. Edmonton just has to basically stay really clear. They've built up a nice lead. A couple of seconds is a lot in this event as they keep on flying. Now one element left.
And we've seen how fast Fort McMurray can be. They almost broke the world record. Can they catch Edmonton?
This is going to be a great race to the finish. Paul Offram down. Natcha catching up. Offram goes down. Edmonton goes down. It will be Fort McMurray. Dan Natcha really at the final couple of steps. Offram falls trying to get to the finish line. And Fort McMurray gets themselves the victory. Wow, how about that? No gloating because it is such a great sport and competition. You hate to see that happen to your competitor, but success to Fort McMurray in 2016.
You can see by their faces, even though that wasn't good for Edmonton, they've still got a smile on their face. They work hard to get here. They love to compete, and that's what we give them a chance to do.
A mistake early on, but the team pulls it together.
Oh my gosh, I made definitely a few mistakes there, and my teammates picked it up pretty good. So, yeah, it's phenomenal. You know, I'm trying to go 110%. I got to go 120, 130% to catch it up. So, gets the adrenaline going pretty good. It's an awesome feeling winning, for sure.
How wonderful. A successful afternoon for the firefighters from Fort McMurray. For our entire Firefit crew, I'm Perry Solkowski saying so long from the 2016 Scott National Firefit Championships. The Firefit National Championships, presented by Scott Safety, protecting what matters most.